It started with a hike, not a bold adventure, not some daring trek into uncharted land. Just a casual Saturday trail near Fair Lake, a sleepy Pennsylvania town my cousin Ben had recently moved to. He claimed the air was fresher here, the trees taller, the people quieter. All I saw was forest, thick, damp, and indifferent. We hadn't planned on anything spooky. The only horror on our minds was Ben's questionable sense of direction and my lack of signal bars. We parked by the gravel lot, followed the painted trail markers, and joked about bears. That was it. That was all it was supposed to be. But then Ben stepped off the trail. "Shortcut," he said, brushing aside a curtain of fern. "You sure?" I asked. "These things are marked for a reason." He grinned. "Come on. Just a little detour. There's this spot I want to show you, a clearing with mossy stones and a weird little stream. Found it last week. Promise it's worth it." It wasn't. About 15 minutes later, after dodging roots and half-sliding down a ridge, Ben stopped suddenly. His hand shot out, palm up, and I nearly ran into him. "What?" He pointed. There, half buried in damp leaves and moss, was a phone. Not just a cracked screen or an old case. A whole smartphone. Face down, black casing, the kind you'd expect from a store shelf, not the forest floor. No one else was around. No camps. No hikers. No sound, except the wind. Ben picked it up without hesitation. "Careful," I said. "Might be someone's." He turned it over. The screen lit up. Not passcode locked. Not dead. Just glowing. The time blinked. 12:17 p.m. Battery, 13%. "It's still on," he muttered. "Dude, feel this. It's warm." I did. And he was right. Phones don't stay warm sitting in the dirt for long. Then the notification buzzed. A small vibration in Ben's hand, followed by a faint ping. One unread message. Just one. One voicemail. No missed calls. No texts. No apps. Just the generic background and a single voicemail. My skin crawled. "Check it," Ben said. "No," I said. "We should turn it in." To who? Forest rangers? To the cops. Or post it online. Someone probably lost this. Ben smirked and hit the voicemail icon before I could stop him. The phone speaker clicked. The file began to play. There was silence for a second. Then static. Harsh and scraping. Like something being dragged across gravel. Then a voice. A girl's voice. Young. Whispering. "If someone finds this, please, don't let it follow you home." The voicemail ended. No timestamp. No name. No return number. Ben looked up at me, wide-eyed, but smiling. Nervous smiling. "Okay. That's creepy." I nodded, not speaking. Something about the voice felt off. Not just afraid. Resigned. Like she already knew no one would come in time. Ben stuffed the phone into his jacket pocket. "We're taking it with us?" I asked. "Hell yeah. We're not just leaving a warm, working phone in the woods. Besides, maybe we can return it later." I didn't argue, not out loud. But something deep in my gut squirmed. We made our way back to the trail, then to the car. The wind had picked up. The forest felt different now. Like it was watching. I remember checking my phone as we reached the parking lot. Still no bars. No signal. But Ben's jacket buzzed again. Another voicemail. He didn't play it. Not yet. We drove in silence. That night, I slept over at Ben's house. He had a spare bedroom, still half unpacked, with a view of the woods from the second floor. I tried to brush everything off. Told myself we'd probably find out it was some prank or scavenger hunt thing. But then, just past midnight, I heard Ben's voice. Talking. Softly. From the room down the hall. I crept out of bed, still barefoot, and leaned into his doorway. The light was off. Ben sat on the edge of his bed, staring down at the phone. He was whispering. No, responding. Like someone was talking to him. Like he was being coached. I couldn't make out the words. Only that he nodded, murmured, "Okay," and blinked slowly, like someone hypnotized. "Ben." He jerked upright. The phone slipped from his hand and hit the floor with a flat clack. "Jesus, man, don't sneak up like that," he snapped, forcing a laugh. "Who were you talking to?" "No one," he said too quickly. "Just watching something." But the screen was dark. Battery drained. I didn't push him, but I didn't sleep either. Because sometime around 3 a.m., I heard it again. The ping. And this time, it came from inside my room. The ping wasn't loud. Just a soft, almost apologetic chime from the corner of the room, where my overnight bag sat on a chair. I froze in bed, my spine locked, breath shallow. I hadn't brought a phone charger, and my phone was dead hours ago. But the ping came again. I sat up slowly. My eyes adjusted to the dark. There, something glowing inside the bag. Not white like an iPhone screen. Dimmer. Bluish. I got up and crossed the room, every floorboard creaking like it was trying to scream. I reached into the bag and pulled out the phone. Ben's phone. The one from the woods. Except no, not quite. This one didn't have a crack on the corner. The time on the lock screen was frozen, 3:12 a.m., and beneath it, in glowing gray text, voicemail received. But it hadn't come from my cousin's jacket. It was in my bag. That's when I noticed the faint red blinking in the top corner. A tiny light. Recording light. The phone was recording. Or had been. The screen shifted. Automatically, like it had waited for my touch. And then the speaker clicked on. Hey, a voice said. My voice. I stopped breathing. I think I took the wrong phone. I'm gonna return it to. The message ended. No timestamp. Just like before. Except I had never said that. Never recorded that. I backed away and placed the phone on the desk, suddenly afraid to even hold it. I wanted to wake Ben. I wanted to throw the damn thing out the window. But then, just as I turned to leave, the screen shifted again. A new file. Not a voicemail this time. A video. Thumbnail. Pitch black. Play button pulsing. I shouldn't have touched it. But I did. The screen lit up. At first, it was just static. The kind you'd get on old analog TVs. Then a hiss. Followed by movement. A flicker of pale, two long limbs in a hallway I didn't recognize. But something about it felt close. Familiar. A second later, I realized why. That hallway was upstairs. In Ben's house. I slammed the phone face down. Something thumped outside my door. Not loudly, but with purpose. I stared at the knob. Waited. Nothing. I opened the door and peeked into the hallway. Dark. But something smelled off. Like metal. And wet bark. I crept to Ben's room. The door was open just a crack, swaying slightly in a breeze I couldn't feel. He wasn't in bed. But the window was open. Curtains flapping like frantic hands. And beneath them, on the floor, was Ben's jacket. The phone was gone. The next morning, Ben acted normal. Too normal. He cracked jokes. Made eggs. Asked if I'd seen the local thrift store. But when I asked about the phone, he just blinked. What phone? The one from yesterday. The one we found. His smile faltered for just a second. You mean that broken thing? It died on the way home, remember? That's not. Come on, he interrupted. We were up late. Probably just sleep-deprived. You sure you're okay? I didn't answer. Because I saw something under his sleeve. A band of pinkish bruises wrapping around his wrist. As if someone had grabbed him. Hard. I went home that afternoon. Ben insisted he'd bring the phone to the police if it ever turned back on. But I didn't believe him. Something had changed in him. Something quiet and careful. Like he didn't want to be noticed. The ride home was uneventful. Trees blurred past the windows, indifferent to my panic. But that night, back in my apartment, the messages started. Not texts. Not emails. Voicemails. Voicemails on my own phone. The first came just before midnight. I didn't recognize the number. It had too many digits. Area code 000. I played it. You brought it out. A whisper. Not angry, sad. You let it follow. Then static. Then breathing. Not human. Wet, dragging, shuddering breathing, like lungs half full of dirt. I deleted the message. But another came 30 minutes later. And another. And another. All with different numbers. All with different voices. Some were crying. One was singing a lullaby, off-key. One just laughed. For 43 seconds. But one was Ben. He sounded terrified. He said my name over and over, voice cracking. Don't answer if it calls back. Please, just let it ring. I haven't spoken to Ben since. That was 3 nights ago. Last night, I got home from work and found a small box at my door. No return address. Just a folded piece of paper taped to the top, with 2 words. You forgot this. I opened it. Inside, a phone. Not mine. Not Ben's. Another one. Same model. Same case. No cracks. Still warm. Still powered on. And this one had 2 voicemails. The first I haven't listened to. But the second? It played by itself. Speaker blaring before I could stop it. A little girl's voice. Sweet. Rehearsed. Almost like an operator. Your number has been added. Thank you for calling. The line is always open. We'll be seeing you soon. I left the box outside. Closed the door. Double-locked it. Turned off every light. But the phone was still warm when I opened my fridge 5 minutes later and saw it sitting on the middle shelf beside the orange juice. No box, no note, just resting there, glowing faintly. I don't remember putting it there. I don't remember unlocking the door again. I didn't sleep that night. Every hour or so, the phone vibrated once. Just once. No notification. No call. But every time I turned my back on it, it moved. Once I found it under my pillow. Once on the windowsill, its screen turned toward the glass. By morning, I wrapped it in a towel, shoved it in a tin box, and duct taped the whole thing shut. It buzzed the entire time. When I finally got to work, I tossed the thing into the back of my car and slammed the trunk. My hands were shaking. I hadn't even noticed how tightly I was clenching my jaw until I felt a crack in one of my molars. That's when I called Ben. Straight to voicemail. No rings. Just his voice. Hey, it's Ben. Leave a message. Or don't. Doesn't matter anymore. At lunch, I searched online for the trail we'd hiked. I couldn't find it. Not on Google Maps. Not on the local forestry sites. Not even on hiking forums. I checked Ben's texts for the coordinates he had sent me the day before. They were gone. So were the texts. The last message from him now just read, "We all pick up eventually." I tried deleting it. My phone wouldn't let me. That night, I broke down. I drove to Ben's house. Only, it wasn't his house anymore. Same street. Same lot. But now there was a different mailbox. Different paint color. A family's name stenciled across the front gate. The Howlers. I rang the bell. A woman answered. Mid-40s. Friendly. Hi. Does Ben live here? I asked. She frowned. No, sorry. Are you sure? I was just here a few days ago. We were hiking, and I've lived here for 9 years, she said, kindly but firmly. No one named Ben has ever lived here. I apologized and left. But as I reached my car, I heard it. The ping. From her house. Faint, but sharp. Like a metal spoon tapping porcelain. The sound of the phone. I didn't go home that night. I checked into a motel 2 towns over. Paid cash. Fake name. I left the taped-up phone in the trunk. But sometime around 2 a.m., the room phone rang. The motel landline. I let it ring 8 times before I picked up. Hello. No one spoke. But something breathed. Heavy. Uneven. Close enough I could almost hear skin stretching. I hung up. The phone rang again. I unplugged it. But when I looked at my own cell, which I had powered off hours ago, it was glowing. One new voicemail. From my own number. I finally listened to it this morning. Because I had to. Because the phone in the trunk was now in my backpack, even though the car was still locked. The message began like a normal call. My voice again. Only this time, I wasn't alone. There was another voice under mine, like 2 radio stations overlapping. If you can hear this, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I think I figured out what it wants. My voice cracked. It's not the phone. It's the connection. It's the act of listening. Receiving. It doesn't care how. Just that you do. Then static. Then something else. Another voice. Smiling. Female. Too smooth. Thank you for your attention. You are now part of the network. Welcome back. I lost time after that. Maybe 10 minutes. Maybe 2 hours. I came to in the motel bathroom, crouched in the tub, lights off, shaking. My phone was resting on the sink. Its screen pulsed with a single word. Connected. I drove again. Just picked a direction and went. But wherever I went, someone was already waiting. At a gas station, a man stared at me for too long, before quietly pulling a cracked phone from his coat, holding it up like an offering. At a rest stop, a child was humming the exact same lullaby I heard in one of the voicemails. A radio in a passing truck played the message from Ben. I kept driving. Now I'm parked in a cornfield off Route 37. Phone at 2%. No service. 1 bar of battery on mine, too. And both of them are glowing. At the same time. Perfect sync. The motel phone number just called me again. Even though I unplugged it. Even though I left it behind. I didn't answer. But the voicemail was already recorded. And it wasn't my voice this time. It was my mother's. Except she's been dead for 4 years. Sweetheart, she said softly, like she used to when I was sick. Let them in. They've been knocking for so long. The voice was hers. Not just similar, identical. Same gentle tone, same lilt when she said sweetheart. It made my chest clench. For a split second, I nearly pressed call back. But I didn't. Instead, I threw the phone out the window. It landed in the cornfield with a faint crunch. I got out, walked a few paces, looked down at where it had fallen, and froze. Because there were other phones there. Dozens. Half buried in dirt, plastic cracked, some blinking softly beneath stalks of corn like fallen stars. Some with screens still lit, others vibrating. A few had names etched into their backs and faded marker. One of them was mine. My old phone. The one I lost in college, 5 years ago. I picked it up. It was warm. The battery said 1%, and the screen flashed. Reconnected. And then I heard it. A chorus of voices. Not from a phone, not from a speaker, from somewhere beneath the ground. Whispers, murmurs, echoes. All saying the same word, layered on top of each other like a prayer. Answer. I ran. I didn't stop until I hit pavement again, lungs burning, shoes slick with mud. I got in the car, locked the doors, and sat shaking. The phones had all been turned off. All except one. Mine. Still glowing. New voicemail. No number. Just the word. Ben. I listened to it with trembling hands. His voice was rough. Distant. Like he was calling from deep inside a pipe. It's spreading. I thought I could stop it. I buried it. I left it in the river. I tried to burn it. It always comes back. He took a shaky breath. The first voicemail I got, it wasn't even a voice. It was a location. The forest. I went there because I thought someone needed help. It used me to bring you in. I'm sorry. A pause. Then, there's one way to block it. One place they can't reach. Dead air. No tower. No signal. Nothing. Go underground. Deep. Where there's no reception. No network. Take the phone. Let it starve. Don't listen to any more voicemails. Not even mine. Click. End of message. I drove. No destination. Just movement. The phone buzzed twice during the drive. I ignored it. I stuffed it in the glove compartment, then the trunk. I stopped once to piss and left it sitting on the roof of the car. It was back in the cup holder 5 minutes later. Still glowing. The screen now showed a new symbol. A spiraling black and white circle that kept looping. The word below it. Searching. By evening, I found a tunnel. Old coal mine. Sealed off since the 1960s. A collapsed wooden sign warned of unstable ground and no entry. Perfect. I parked the car 100 feet away and walked the rest. Every part of me screamed against it. Every thought in my brain told me to run the other way. But I couldn't risk it spreading again. Couldn't risk someone else finding the phone. At the edge of the shaft, I pulled out the phone. Its screen was no longer glowing. No signal bars. No battery symbol. Just a flat, black mirror. For the first time in days, silence. Even the forest around the mine felt muted, like the trees were holding their breath. I tossed the phone down. It clattered against stone once, then again, then silence. I waited 5 seconds. 10. Nothing. I turned to go. Then I heard it. My voice. From the tunnel. Wait. You forgot to say goodbye. I ran. Didn't look back. Didn't check the car. Didn't stop until I got to a gas station an hour away. Inside, I asked for a burner phone. They didn't sell them. I asked for a payphone. Those got pulled out years ago, the clerk said. But then, as I turned to leave, he added, "You can borrow mine, though, just for a call." He reached under the counter, pulled out a phone. Black case. No cracks. Battery, 13%. And as he handed it to me, it buzzed. New voicemail. He blinked. Thought I turned it off. I backed away. "I'm good," I said quickly. I forgot something. I left without paying. That was this morning. I've driven over 100 miles since. But the phones keep showing up. On hotel beds. In public restrooms. On the passenger seat, even when I lock the doors. Each one has the same voicemail waiting. Each one has my name listed as the contact. One even had a recording of me walking through the cornfield. Angle from above. From the trees. I haven't listened to the new message yet. But I know I will. I always do. Because the network isn't just made of phones. It's made of people. Of listeners. Of those who pick up, even once. And once you hear it, it hears you back.